All right, all right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This game is going to be between Romantic and Fortitude. Excuse me, no, Romantic and FoCuS here on Springtime. Let's go ahead and get this game going to that 2-minute mark. FoCuS spawning on the top left-hand side of the map as the blue orc opening things up. Altar of Storms, Burrow. Meanwhile, on the bottom right, we see Romantic opening up things with, well, Altar of Kings, Barracks. There's that farm. No Barracks yet from FoCuS, so I am expecting Farseer or perhaps even a Blade Master coming out here with perhaps a fast tech to tier 2. Well, for those of you guys who are not in the know, there was a patch change recently, hence the reason why my overlay is not working. Ghouls now deal 1 less point of damage. There was also some minor changes out there as well, and I'm hoping that I'm casting this replay. Since there isn't an undead unit out there, it won't cause any problems or any glitches in the game. Otherwise, well, I'll be just wasting some time, and you guys will never see this. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down. Mountain King should be popping on out here. Farseer is out as well. Farseer, well, gonna run out with those Spirit Wolves to try and disrupt a bit of all of that creeping. Mountain King, however, quickly storm bolts that Forest Troll High Priest anytime that you're able to remove Inner Fire or just stun out that Forest Troll High Priest from being able to do too much. There's gonna, nope, no additional Inner Fires there. Meanwhile, the Militias are fighting back, able to deal significant damage back to those other units as the Frost Wolves now about to get taken down. Sasquatch gonna get taken down. Mountain King now does get to level 2, does have a Talisman of Evasion. Forest or Ice Troll Priest perhaps gonna go for it on Abolish Magic. Well, there's gonna be some heals going back the other way as the Farseer, well, there's that resummon right there. So Mountain King, I believe, did get a little bit of experience. Farseer doesn't have anything yet. Arcane Tower not yet done upgrading. And now it's going to be the Militia deciding to fight back here. All right, is the Ice Troll Priest going to try to abolish magic? Just fight back the other way. We're going to look at that unit continuing to wander around there down. Oh, taking a little bit of a heal. Is going to try to fight back again. And oh, nice Militia push as we see. No, is that another resummon? No, that was not a resummon. Mountain King actually got all of the necessary damage and took down a Headhunter. FoCuS now resummoning right there. There's going to be a little bit of heal. There's that Arcane Tower. That Peasant down to 38 hit points. Going to try and Militia hold back the other way. But these narrow corridors are so effective and so wonderfully played by Romantic. So nice play there by Romantic. Ice Troll Priest in the back here. Mountain King perhaps wishing to land a Stormbolt, but that Farseer will not allow it as the Mountain King still does a little bit of chasing around. Now, Springtime does have this relatively easy to clear creep camp down on the southern side. No tech to tier 2 yet. There's that Forest or that Ice Troll Berserker. Pretty much, well, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, as this Ice Troll Priest is going to have to, well, perhaps try and pull back here. All right, these Trappers running around quite a bit. There goes an Ensnare, and that is a gift wrap unit for FoCuS right now. FoCuS could try and take it down, but this Ice Troll Berserker also representing a large amount of damage, as the Mountain King could, oh, does Farseer gets the last hit. Farseer gets the last hit right there, and with that, well, it takes away a good chunk of experience from that Mountain King from getting able to get up to level 3. That was a huge deal. Level 2 Stormbolt now denied or significantly delayed for that Mountain King. And level 2 Stormbolt, we know how much that can really whittle away at a level 1 hero's hit points. Farseer needs to aggro some creeps here. We are going to dual bestiary already with the Tauren Chieftain. There's a couple of gift-wrapped Spirit Wolves taking a little bit of damage. There goes one. Farseer should be able to get to level 2 easily since he did steal a bit of that experience. Meanwhile, Mountain King heading off to the north here does have Boots of Speed. Could try and chase down Tauren Chieftain about to make its way out. Mountain King, I believe, went for a bash. I think we saw a couple of bashes earlier. Once again, overlay not online yet, so have to be a little bit worried there as we're looking at this Tuskar Trapper perhaps going to get taken down. So Footman looking to finish it off. This could open up level 3. Is the Mountain King going to get the last hit there? There's a Shockwave. Yes, does get the last hit. Doesn't pick up an item. And now with that level 3 Mountain King nearby, the Tauren Chieftain has to think twice. Coming back through, we are getting up the Arcane Tower. Town Hall already operational. Arcane Vault coming online as well. No lumber mill yet, but I expect to see that momentarily, as lumber is going to be a particular issue for Romantic for a little bit, as he's sitting at, well, actually needs quite a bit of gold to upgrade to tier 2. We are looking at Raiders not even bothering to go into Wind Riders, and we are getting, not getting the reinforced defenses just quite yet. Meanwhile, Mountain King still wandering around here. There's going to go ahead and aggro that Polar Bear. Gets an, I don't know if it's a lucky or an unlucky bash. He wanted to try and pull those units away, and there's a quick Stormbolt onto that Forest Troll Berserker. Bloodlusted Berserker dealing quite a bit of damage. Now Ogre Magi takes a bolt to the face and will get taken down as well. Mountain King picks up a Scroll of the Beast. You can see the Polar Bear, well, fighting back here, selling that Scroll of the Beast, not picking up a Scroll of Healing as I originally thought he would, and not even an Invo Potion, perhaps needing Daybreak first. Back on the southern side, Arcane Vault relatively close by. Torrent Chieftain already sitting at level 2, going for Endurance Aura. We can see a couple of Raiders now making their way down. Farseer also at level 2. Meanwhile, we are not yet at tier 2. Romantic gonna be, well, forced to stay on a single hero for a little while longer, as a couple of, well, proxy farms placed down to try and protect against any hit and run tactics by these Raiders. All right, Raiders going after the Ogre Magi here. Tauren Chieftain, once it gets to level 3, that level 2 Shockwave does hit that back line extremely well. Mountain King, are they going to accidentally see each other here? We're going to see a Stormbolt onto that low hit point Raider. Yes, we are. Stormbolt onto that Raider. Raider down to 154 hit points. Another healing salve will be needed. Mountain King doesn't have a Clarity Potion, but nearly finishing off a unit there. All right, there's a gift-wrapped Force Troll Priest. We're going to see a little bit of more of an engagement. Level 3 Shockwave ripping on through, a little bit of damage. Militia now coming on over, and, well, Raiders are getting focused down pretty quickly because of that normal damage from those footmen. All right, trying to finish off more of those Raiders here. We're going to see another bolt go down. Mountain King, Stormbolt's a different one instead. Going to be able to take down a Raider here. Militia going to get cleaned up, and then now this Raider, oh my gosh, escapes away at 76 hit points. So multiple Raiders very low, 5 hit points, 116 hit points, and Romantic unable to capitalize and focus down a single target. The Headhunters in the back here, perhaps we're going to see another Raider go down, or a Raider go, as we see a Stormbolt now onto the Farseer. Farseer could end up getting surrounded. This could be potentially bad, as we see a Shockwave, Chain Lightning ripping on through. Scroll of Healing used quickly there, but that is a bunch of low hit point footmen now, as that Chain Lightning did deal quite a bit of damage. Scroll of Town Portal quickly going to be used. There's a Shockwave. There goes some more units again. Are we going to see some more down footmen? Yes, we do. So beautifully done once more, and now this could be potentially bad news here, as the Raiders are going to be able to pick off some of these units while FoCuS is able to regroup. A beautiful, beautiful game. FoCuS saving a couple of those low hit point Raiders, denying big experience to that Mountain King, as we now see an Archmage as the second hero, building dual Arcane Sanctums, one of them being doubly built, perhaps for Sorceresses and Priests. No tech to tier 3 yet. FoCuS is playing live. I don't know if you know, if you understand my channel. Know that my games are never going to be live. If it is live, it will say live in the up top. Coming back off to the north, Archmage could be in trouble already before it even makes its way out. We're going to see it, well, down to 1, down to 0, and it is going to make its way out just in time. But there is that Scroll of the Beast, well, maximizing damage. Archmage does have Water Elemental. It's going to go ahead and try and engage here. Raider down to 207 hit points already, trying to back away. There's a couple more ensnares again. The Raiders dealing good damage, especially against, just against all of these buildings here. But, well, level 4 now finally on that Mountain King. Mountain King could be in trouble, forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal to retreat back. Mountain King does have a Scroll of Regeneration, should use it pretty much immediately, as it needs some time to re-heal, as we see Spellbreakers and perhaps some Priest join in on the battlefield. Hit and run tactics by FoCuS, well, going after a different building instead, and now going to go after that Arcane Vault pretty easily. No Arcane Vault here. The Spellbreaker... Oh, it looks... Is there another Arcane Vault? Somehow this Arcane Vault, this Spellbreaker is still queued up, even though there's only one... There's no Arcane Vault on the map. I thought they were removed from the queue if you no longer had it, but anything you were currently training would still go through. I don't know. Let me know if that was a change or I'm just misremembering things. Yeah. Misremembering things. I'm doing all right. A little bit tired, but well, hoping that this replay doesn't glitch out on me right now. Off to the north, FoCuS does have this expansion. So FoCuS, both sides sitting at tier 2, both sides running up on 2 bases with 2 heroes, but players getting there very differently, as we are looking at a level 3 Tauren Chieftain, level 3 Farseer going up against a level 4 Mountain King and a level 1 Archmage. That Archmage really does need to get to level 2 for that Brilliance Aura. Otherwise, that Mountain King is not going to have the mana it needs to get the job done. Meanwhile, the Tauren Chieftain already sitting at level 4, I believe has level 2 Endurance Aura now, and should be able to press very heavily. Overlay is lost because there was a recent patch. That recent patch, anytime that there's a patch, in order to make sure that things are working properly, the overlay or doesn't misrepresent anything, the overlay does not actually show anything until it is confirmed by the developers. So, yeah, no overlay. Coming back off to the north here, Mountain King. Perhaps going to buy a Scroll of Town Portal. Archmage holding the Scroll of Town Portal. Mountain King picking up an Invul Potion and now heading off to the north. FoCuS's expansion is very much not defended, and that could be the issue here. If somehow Romantic is able to come across this expansion off to the north and remove the economic advantage, that could set things back. Both sides are sitting in low upkeep, though. Mountain King's army 72 supply compared to the Orc army of 66, as we see an ensnare go down on the Archmage. All right, Tauren Chieftain may try and line up a Shockwave against this entire back line. There's a Scroll of Town Portal already. No departing Shockwave. There's a Chain Lightning. There's a Shockwave right there. One Rifleman gets taken down. Kodo Beast unable to get anything in its belly, and that is a bit of a setback there as the Raiders clean up the last of these units again. Farseer nearing level 4. Proxy farm there, no tech to tier 3. There's a couple of scout towers here not even bothering being upgraded. They got hit by some shockwaves earlier as the Mountain King goes for a Tome of Retraining, most likely indicating Thunderclap and Stormbolt. That Thunderclap in that front line to try and slow down all of those units. Right? Anytime you're able to slow down a lot of units and their attack speeds. Oh, there goes a Ice Bolt onto the Archmage, or I believe it's called an Ice Bolt. Both sides fighting, and now a perfect creep jack by FoCuS. FoCuS wanting to maximize damage here. Tauren Chieftain and Farseer both have Chain Lightning and Shockwave, can rack up large amounts of damage on that back line. There's a Scroll of Healing. One Raider not going to be able to get out as the Spellbreakers are trying to fight here. Kodo Beast trying to play a game of Hungry Kodo, and there's another Chain Lightning Shockwave. Chain Wave working quite a bit. Mountain King trying to, well, focus things down against FoCuS's units. Spellbreakers are going to be low on hit points. Mountain King does have a Stormbolt and does use it up against one of those Kodo Beasts to get a Spellbreaker back. Mountain King able to teleport away. 14 minutes, 30 seconds into this game, 68 supply compared to 61. Very, very much back and forth game here on Springtime. As FoCuS now takes the experience lead, Farseer should not be backing away from this. This is absolutely the worst thing you could have done. Farseer was at level 4, Tauren Chieftain was at level 5. You back away the Tauren Chieftain to give Farseer all of the experience. You don't back away the Farseer so that the Tauren Chieftain gets none of the experience. That's actually the worst way to do it, as the Spellbreakers are all lined up here. All right, both sides getting ready to fight. Kodo Beast. There's a, well, nice little Shockwave, Chain Lightning bouncing around across all of these targets again. We are looking at level 2 Endurance Aura. We're going to see a, well, Footman and a couple of other units get taken down. There goes another big Thunderclap there. Mountain King needs to get to level 5. If it can get there, it will be incredibly impressive as we see another Shockwave taking down another Priest there. Remember, the Spellbreakers being magic immune actually kind of work against Romantic. The Chain Lightning ends up bouncing around only the back line as the Spellbreakers are maximized on hit point. It opens up ways for FoCuS to focus down those backline units. All right. Are we perhaps going to see a Chain Lightning there? There you go. 1, 2, 3. Farseer going after target after target. We are also looking at a Kaghar's Pipe of Insight. The Farseer having mana regeneration as well. Going to give the Tauren Chieftain and the Farseer just many more opportunities for that chain wave attack. Chain Lightning Shockwave tearing through that entire backline there as we see a Kodo Beast getting stunned down. Mountain King sitting at level 5. We're going to see a Thunderclap. There's a Scroll of Speed trying to get away. We're going to see another Stormbolt. No, we do not. Mountain King unable to get the Stormbolt off on that Kodo. Well, maybe able to get it off, but it's still a little bit too far. Archmage trying to land some attacks to get that Spellbreaker back, but dove in quite a bit as we see a big Thunderclap across all of those units again. Shockwave does hit a couple of the casters in the back. We're looking at another Raider perhaps about to get taken down. Yes, big Thunderclap there. And, well, Thunderclap slowing all of those Orc units in that front line. 63 supply compared to 45. Archmage, Mountain King, ready once more. We're going to get a little bit of healing. Mountain King needs a Clarity Potion. I'm not quite sure why he isn't using one just quite yet. As the Farseer and the Tauren Chieftain, or Farseer just shy of level 5 here. Clarity Potion. Clarity Potions on those heroes. They are ready. A couple of red creep camps and orange creep camps still available on the map if they want to try and level up. Romantic has a lot of work to, or a lot of work to do if he wants to try to catch up in this hero level. As the Farseer is going to get to level 5 off of the digestion from these Kodo Beasts. So level 5 Farseer, perhaps going to go for level 3 Chain Lightning. Both are viable options at this point. Girls, are you okay? Okay.
Forces are under attack.
Okay. Coming back around, Mountain King going to try to engage. There's that Thunderclap off of that invisible. Mountain King slowing things down for that entire front line. Archmage. Well, there's that Chain Lightning bouncing across. You can see how much damage it does on those backline casters. Archmage quickly gets in, quickly gets ensnared, but an Invul Potion there. A massive Thunderclap, so slowing down much of that army there. There's another Chain Lightning going across more of those units, so it is really Thunderclap trying to fight back here. Mountain King also uses another Invul Potion as well, so dual Invul Potions. Archmage, well, not enough targets to hit other units, and now Paladin could be, Mountain King could be in trouble. Mountain King, is it going to be, nope, invisibility. Are we going to see perhaps a random Shockwave finish off a unit? Oh, invisibility all over the place. Two invisible heroes trying to hide from the Tauren Chieftain and that Farseer. Tauren Chieftain's random Shockwave could take down multiple heroes. Doesn't take down the Archmage there. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around again, and all of these towers were absolutely lost. FoCuS, with no insight, cannot see where his enemy is. There's a Stormbolt. Mountain King is available right now. Is he going to perhaps try and Stormbolt the other way? There's another Thunderclap. Did they go a little bit too far? There goes one. There goes another. Archmage gets up to level 4. Priest trying to heal back up those Mountain Kings there. We are looking at 50 supply compared to 59. Farseer and Tauren Chieftain being forced to retreat back here. We are still mining off on the north as the main bases only have about 90 seconds to 100 or 2 minutes of mining left. So much damage done here overall. I gotta believe by this time the Raiders have pillage. They are 1-1 upgraded, and at Stronghold we are still only at Keep. No Staff of Sanctuaries available, but the Archmage and the Mountain King able to make some major plays as the priests are healing up the remainder of this rather small army. Okay, Romantic does have a fair amount of gold in the bank and is currently mining at 20 gold a second compared to his opponent's 14. So Romantic going to try to hold off any onslaughts and then spend all of his gold very, very quickly. As you can see right now, there's some Spellbreakers. There's another Spellbreaker. No additional footmen trying to buy some items up as well. The Priest are relatively low on mana. They need to get. They need to find a way to stay alive throughout this match. One big problem is trying to get to tier 3 to get 30 additional hit points on those priests may not be worth it. Upgrade to castle and then the mastery training for that little bit of additional hit points would help against the Tauren Chieftain and that Farseer's Chain Lightning Shockwave combination. But to go for it, that initial investment is rather expensive. Perhaps getting another 2 priests out onto the battlefield instead would make a bigger immediate impact. As the Archmage heads off to the north here, there is the Magnetar Reaver, and are they going to try to go after this creep camp? I believe they are. All right, however, FoCuS may be able to get another potential creep jack. This could be huge. Well, are they going to find it? Yes, they are. FoCuS finds exactly where Romantic is in the middle of this map here. There's a massive thunderclap. There's some big slows. There's a blizzard. There's chain lightning bouncing around, and level 6 now on the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain going after the remainder of these casters here. Raider was taken down. Scout farm is going to be destroyed. We can see a couple of sentry wards now placed down all across the map with also a Wind Rider. And FoCuS is ready for the endgame to just find Romantic and punish him whenever he can. Back off to the north here. It doesn't look like the Tauren Chieftain's going to go after this creep camp, at least not quite yet. We can see also FoCuS has built this expansion in the center portion of the map, and FoCuS looks like he has a commanding lead economically, hero, and army size advantages. There is that sentry ward keeping track, but I believe, Romantic must have heard that sentry ward go down and thought to himself, you know what? I just have to assume my opponent knows where I am. I cannot try and risk anything right now and put myself in a worse situation. There goes a couple of ensnares. Both sides trying to fight. There's a massive thunderclap. Raider going to get taken down. There's Blizzard raining down across. That's a lot of AoE damage to add up there. There goes an ensnare. Archmage could be in trouble. Needs to try to get up some heals. There goes another shockwave. There goes some more priest. Both sides fighting. Wind Riders trying to poke down. Mountain King needs to get in some bigger thunderclaps. There it is. But is it going to hit enough of those units? There's another shockwave slowly adding up onto the Archmage here. And the Wind Riders no longer being challenged by water elementals, having a bit of a problem as the Archmage tries to retreat back there. All right, Archmage trying to fall all the way back. There's a Blizzard. 1, 2. Is it going to take down 1? It is going to take down 1. Archmage down to 27. Down to 29. Farseer falls, and the Archmage ends up taking it down with 16 hit points left. Farseer falls. Mountain King now up to level 6. Needs to buy perhaps some more items. Going to finish off some more units. There's a Clarity Potion, and now going to try to go after FoCuS's units. Did FoCuS go a little bit too far? Archmage is somehow holding his own as the Priest are coming online to try and heal him back up as well. All right, there's an Ice Troll Berserker by FoCuS. Both sides continuing to put pressure here. Militia now joining in on the fight, trying to put pressure straight up onto that Priest. The Priest is the one that has, remember, is unarmored, and because it is unarmored, takes bonus damage. Meanwhile, back across here, Mountain King going up against the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain, Avatar, both sides still fighting. All right, Tauren Chieftain trying to fight his way through. I believe the reincarnation is not yet quite done. Avatar now needs to back away, perhaps buy a potion of healing. And now, is he going to be able to stay alive? All right, there's a Stormbolt against the Tauren Chieftain. Tauren Chieftain now down to 230 hit points. Spellbreaker, Mountain King does have enough for, does have a potion of mana. Is he going to use it? Yes, he is. There's going to be that Stormbolt. It's going to surround that Tauren Chieftain, and that could be a problem as well. All right, there's one Grunt in that front line spot trying to break free, and oh my gosh, the Tauren Chieftain able to get away. All right. There, oh, that Grunt finally going to get taken down. Tauren Chieftain is able to be free. Kodobi's going to get taken down. But without water elementals, well, what is actually going to challenge these Wind Riders? Archmage trying to challenge the Wind Riders. Spellbreaker going to get taken down here. Well, no, actually retreating back nicely. There goes another Grunt. How many Spellbreakers does it take to surround a Grunt? Apparently 6, as that Grunt gets taken down here. All right. Wind Riders able to back up. Archmage, plenty of mana. Mountain King needs a little bit more mana, needs a little bit more hit points, needs a little bit more everything. FoCuS still has the economic advantage in the center portion of the map, as the Wind Riders are trying to put pressure onto onto the Priest. Are we going to see a Stormbolt? Stormbolt going to take down one of those units again, but well, the Wind Rider going to be able to finish off a Priest there. Mountain King looking to get another Stormbolt, unable to do so. Wind Rider flies up onto the high ground. Are we going to see a Stormbolt there? Mountain King, Stormbolt. Well, easy Stormbolt death of a Raider right there. That was kind of gifted. FoCuS sitting at 51 supply, getting 14 gold a second. And well, waiting for that Farseer, I believe, to get resurrected. Now back out on the battlefield. All right. Army size, 49 supply, so 14 gold a second compared to 4. Mountain King still exchanging blows. There's a Shockwave, Chain Lightning bouncing around, retrained back into Water Elementals because Blizzard wasn't going to cut it to take them down. We're looking at the Water Elemental making its way around. Spellbreaker is going to try to focus things down. There's another Shockwave. Mountain King, Potion of Healing, Chain Lightning, absorbing quite a bit of damage. Mountain King trying to back away, or perhaps going to see a Stormbolt onto the Tauren Chieftain. There's a Stormbolt. Tauren Chieftain going to lose all of its mana. And now, what is that Mountain King going to do? Wind Rider still poking in from the air. Archmage could drop some more Water Elementals. And there goes another Priest again. Are we going to see another Stormbolt? Stormbolt onto the Farseer. Go after the Farseer instead. Avatar now, once again, for that Mountain King. Mountain King's Thunderclap. Level 7 now on that Mountain King. Farseer falls at level 5 again. Archmage trying to fight back the other way. Tauren Chieftain continuing to put in pressure as the Water Elementals are going to get taken down. Mountain King playing on, well, on the edge of a sword right now as the Wind Riders are trying to deal maximum damage. Kodo Beast trying to back away. Farseer gets back out onto the battlefield. Level 7 now on the Tauren Chieftain. Invul Potion onto the Farseer as the Mountain King now looks to back up again. Are we going to see another Stormbolt or anything like that? There's going to be another Wind Rider there. Archmage sitting at level 5. Scroll of Town Portal. Tactical Retreat. There goes another Shaman. Kodo Beast gets taken down, giving back that Spellbreaker. 46 supply versus 48. Somehow, even with the economic advantage, the hero level advantage, and the army size advantage, the battle inside the base, inside Romantic space, just took a turn for the worst. I believe that was about 5 to 7 minutes ago, chasing after that Archmage. The Farseer fell, giving level 6 to the Mountain King, and then the Archmage was able to stay alive, sub 25 hit points, using Blizzard to take down those Wind Riders. Turning point in this game here, as FoCuS tried to dive in on heroes and came up empty. That gave the opportunity for the hero lead to switch and pivot now, as Militia now going into the middle portion of the map to try and take down some of this. Archmage, there goes a Shockwave. That's only hitting one Priest there. That is a bit of a lucky break there, as the Militia, what is happening? Archmage, Water Elemental is trying to finish off some of these units. Also, a Troll Witch Doctor getting caught out in the middle of the battlefield, and FoCuS's economic advantage is now lost. Archmage sitting at level 5, needing just a sliver more of experience to get to level 6. Perhaps these peasants are going to try and mine. No, they have to do long distance mining. The southern expansion is gone now. Northern expansion has 2 minutes of mining left. We're going to see Mountain King with an Invul Potion, Archmage also with an Invul Potion, and perhaps some not even bothering with long distance mining, just bringing them into the fight. That could potentially be bad if multiple Shockwaves suddenly give Farseer level 6 and then access to Shadow Wolves as well. It's quick Stormbolt onto a Raider. That's going to give level 6 to the Archmage. And now here we go. Tauren Chieftain. There's a Chain Lightning. There's a Shockwave. There's a bunch of dead peasants now. That's level 6 onto the Farseer. Are we going to see some higher level Spirit Wolves trying to rack things up? Are we going to see another Chain Lightning just trying to slowly pick away at all of these units? Farseer could be in trouble, down to 166. He's trying to back away, does back away in time. There's a Chain Lightning Shockwave ripping all the way around. And so many targets to try and hit. The peasants are actually playing a bit of game of traffic, making it difficult for all of the Kodo Beasts. But the Kodo Beasts, each of them with a Spellbreaker in its belly, that's 9 supply gone in the belly of those beasts. Meanwhile, Mountain King going after the Farseer here. Farseer going to try and hide. There's a Spirit Wolf wall. A beautiful Spirit Wolf wall to prevent the Mountain King from diving in. Goldmine about to be lost here. Peons trying to do some more long distance mining as the Mountain King Archmage could be in trouble. Invul Potion coming back around the other side. Mountain King, there's a Thunderclap, but it looks like Romantic's game-changing comeback is going to fall just a little bit short here as the Tauren Chieftain and the Farsi are able to stay alive. Was bringing those peasants into that final battle by Romantic an act of brilliance, or was it a desperate move that gave FoCuS the opportunity to get experience and then make some strong plays after FoCuS got to level 6? Let me know what you guys thought about that game in the comments below.